I came here in 2008 to do a project for 2 years, and 16 years later, I'm still here. Started a new family here, attempted to leave, and my young son said, I am not leaving Fort Mac. I was born here and I'm staying, and I love it that much. I have 6 kids, combination of different families. I have 3 older kids that are very successful right now, doing well. 2 in teens that are in university, and I have an 8-year-old from my current marriage.
How do you like to spend your time?
Work, 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 work. That's something that's been lacking actually, that I've found, and it's one of the decisions I've made going forward from this year to start doing some golfing that I used to do many years ago. Spend a lot of more time with family, doing some outings. So fun stuff is something that has been lacking for quite a while. I prefer to more entertain at my house and, have my scotch and my wine with a select few friends.
Can you tell us about the businesses you're involved in?
I have a few joint ventures, I call them. When I came to Fort McMurray, I came with a group of developers to build a couple of buildings. And since then, I've engaged myself primarily with up-and-coming Aboriginal companies where I'm able to go in with them and improve and expand their horizons. Some of those companies are very successful today. Some of them have sold and restarted again. Currently, I'm with Surfco Canada, which is not necessarily an Aboriginal company, but we have committed ourselves to engage with Aboriginal companies and also to engage with up-and-coming smaller enterprises to help them get traction and become larger companies. It's a similar model to what the RMWB is doing now, where they're splitting contracts into smaller bits, hoping to engage smaller companies in the community. I'm using that same idea with Surfco, where we're the larger company and we engage smaller companies and give them the opportunity to work under our umbrella and become successful. I prefer to choose and engage. I prefer to choose and engage with smaller entities. A young lad graduating, want to start a business, that's what I prefer to do. Here's an opportunity to get a hold of me. I want to be able to get other families, other individuals to come to Fort McMurray and help us grow. We had a forecast for Fort McMurray where we should have been about, I think, 130,000 people today. We've had areas of the community where we've developed for future expansion that we've not even touched in the last 5 years. I would want people to visit Fort McMurray, engage with the companies in Fort McMurray. I know they have a lot of trade shows that we put on. I know a lot of our companies go outside of the community looking for employees. There was a large blitz of advertising that was done in Ontario. We need to do more of that. I am constantly engaging, calling Surfco Canada, which is a Manitoba-based company that had no dreams of coming to Fort McMurray. Surfco Canada is now in Fort McMurray functioning and want to stay. As a matter of fact, we're looking at expanding and engaging other companies where we can do joint ventures with them. That's the approach that we have to take and other companies have to take. No man is an island. If you have a company in Fort McMurray and you want to do everything by yourself, eventually you're going to fail. If you don't network, eventually you're going to fail. The primary effort is to network better, have the municipality network better, have the oil companies advertise Fort McMurray where they're making the money. And I think that would be the best way for us to grow and reach that population growth that we thought about in the 2012s, 2013.
In your opinion, what does the future hold for the oil and gas sector?
The future is bright for me. There are a lot of different opinions, and some of those opinions appear rather confusing because the people that are complaining are the people that are actually engaging in the oil and gas. And I don't want to go to the political part of it, but I think there's a certain amount of hypocrisy that we encounter when it comes to oil and gas. To me, oil and gas is not going anywhere. I think oil and gas is going to be around for the next 100 years if we survive that. So the future is bright. What it takes, though, the larger companies or the larger enterprises or JVs, if you want to call them that, rather than doing much of the work themselves, what they should do is engage in the smaller companies in the community and give those companies opportunities. The larger oil companies may not want that, but I think if they drive it and they make the argument to the larger oil companies that in order for us to survive as a community, we need to engage with the smaller companies. I think that would be the best approach to take.
What steps can be taken to enhance the global image of Fort McMurray and the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo?
We, as Fort McMurray residents, have to start taking a better or a more positive outlook on our community. A lot of the criticisms that we get actually come from our own people that live here. I left Toronto, which is a very large city. I came to Fort McMurray. I'm comfortable here. I find there's a better sense of community and family, not necessarily as an individual, but as a general public. I think there's much of a sense of family in Fort McMurray. I look at some of the older families that have been in Fort McMurray for many years. You see a lot of humility practiced by those families. It's not necessarily so for the younger families that come in recently, but I think if we go back to the whole Fort McMurray concept that practiced by some of those families where they help other people willingly without looking for a reward and help those people build themselves up, build companies. I think that's how we can promote Fort McMurray. I know there's the Oil and Glass magazine. There are a few other entities that are advertising Fort McMurray very well. The question is, how much support do those people get from our own businesses? Where are those businesses investing and engaging with, say, like oil and gas or some other companies? Are they engaging with them so that we can spread the word? I was assigned the responsibility for Northern Alberta, and we at ServCurve committed ourselves to promoting the community. We've committed ourselves to engaging in local people. Our practice is local first. Our first right of refusal for our projects are local companies. That's how you promote Fort McMurray. You gain the wealth in Fort McMurray. You should invest the wealth in Fort McMurray. You should have your employees stay in Fort McMurray so that they can go out and tell other communities, come to Fort McMurray. This is how people grow. The question is, does the general public in Toronto have that impression? I don't think the general public in Toronto have that impression of Fort McMurray. I think the politics is what exudes a lot of that interpretation or mindset. I'm from Toronto. I had no clue where Fort McMurray was or what Fort McMurray was before I came from Toronto to Fort McMurray. It's what we tell the general public that the general public believes. I've traveled to many places where the pollution is beyond belief. You don't see that in the media. I don't think the larger oil companies in the Fort McMurray community advertise how much of the reclamation that we're doing up here. So the concept is that we're digging all of these big, large cesspools, but we're not doing anything. If we show a lot of the reclamation, which is probably better growth that we have in the reclamation than we have in the regular forest, I think if we advertise that, spend the money and advertise what Fort McMurray does, look at Mac Island, look at all those places that we have. I have friends that come and visit Fort McMurray and say, wow, I thought you guys still had dirt roads. Why is the municipality not advertising that when other people know Fort McMurray is a vibrant community? Fort McMurray is a community that you want to come and work and live.